All right. Welcome to the call, Build Your Community. Really excited about today having Richard here, and Kyle Turley will be here as well later in the call. Just as a reminder, this is about building community and connecting with each other. At the bottom of the screen, you have a chat function. I want everybody to use the chat. The goal here is that we're communicating with one another. We're connecting. Share your cell phone, share your Instagram site, whatever it is that you want to share. That's what this chat is for. Yes, we have some important topics and great guests that show up every week, but I really want people connecting in community. I have had a connection made every single day since this started a month and a half ago. Every day somebody said, hey, can you introduce me to so-and-so on the call? Or how do I get a hold of that person for the last month and a half? So we know this is working. We just need to keep doing it and connecting on this chat. If you want more than that, then you can join our school platform where these calls are they're recorded. The chat is actually up there, uploaded, so you can go back to these on our school platform. If you're not familiar with that, DM us. Rachel hopefully can put that in the chat message on how to join school. It's $10 a month. Yes, it's an admin fee, and but there's a ton of tools on there. It's basically capturing all the coaching I've done the last 8 years in business. In terms of coaching, I've been in business for 42 years, but also assets that Rachel Savota's created from marketing perspective. Rachel Fedora's adding some real estate stuff, and Rod Kuntz has some MLM stuff on there. So lots of great assets on there in terms of the school platform. All right, let's get going. I was reading something this morning. We will not skip the beginning of this call without having a little bit of a heartfelt message here. And basically, it was a photo of a man that was buried in the mud. And the firemen were there to pull him out. And he says, don't pull me out. Both my daughters are holding my hands. And maybe you've seen this post. Basically, they were buried. And here's the history behind it. It says, those words are spoken in the chaos of the 1999 Vargas avalanche, still cut like a knife through time. A father buried in mud, refusing to let go of the only two treasures that mattered, his daughters. He chose to stay to sink with them rather than release their hands. He was eventually rescued. In December of 1999, torrential rains triggered massive landslides and floods across Vargas State, leading to tens of thousands of lives lost. Entire towns were buried in mud and debris. Yet from the darkness rose these words, etched forever, proof of the unbreakable power of love beyond a father's love, the final acts that live on. And it was quoted on the bottom as being told by Charlie Kirk. God, family, country, in that order. This platform was built around faith, family, and business in that order. And so that's the kind of community you're joining. Charlie Kirk will be missed. The freedom of speech has been attacked, and we can talk about that on another show, another time. But he will be missed, and it was a sad week for our country this last week. So with that being said, let's dive into some business. I have Richard O'Connor on the line on the call today.
Jim, did you push record?
I did. Is everybody recording? Yes, we did. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Richard, I'm going to let you introduce your company. You've got 10 minutes to go for it. I'm really excited about kind of the details that were shared with me as to why you're on the call and what you're up to. Of course, we have a little bit of a personal relationship. So why don't you throw it out there and maybe we can ask a couple questions. Use the chat, people.
Wonderful. Jim, thank you. Yeah, my name is Richard O'Connor, and I really appreciate that story. Something happened with me when I was, back in 2016. I almost lost my son. He was a victim of violent crime, and he was brain dead. And he came back, and it put me on a spiritual path that I've been on since. And this whole thing has rocked me, as it's rocked all of us. But we're gonna move forward. So I want to tell you a little bit about my company, our company. It's called Boardroom Capital. We have two companies, Boardroom Capital and Boardroom Fund. We have a quantitative hedge fund that is for qualified investors. Qualified investors are $5 million net worth and up. It's a U.S. registered fund, headed up by Tom Heckmann, who's on the call. He's got a lot of hedge fund experience, very sophisticated trader, and we're just so thrilled an honor to have Tom heading up a Smart Capital Fund. In addition to that, we've got Matt on the phone. Matt is one of our managing partners, and this is a company called Boardroom Capital. Boardroom Capital is designed for executive entrepreneurs, high earners, people that want to maintain control of their own accounts and have access to their funds without being in any lockups. In the hedge fund, the monies are pooled and there's distributions quarterly and yearly. On the Smart Capital, which I'm here to talk about today, it's like a Schwab account. It's like an E-Trade account. It's like any other trading account you may have. But our strategies are primarily focused on algorithms that match pairs in Forex. We also have a total of 11 different strategies. So the way this works is we are reaching out. We launched this 2 weeks ago. We have right now what we're calling our friends and family round. We're only opening 100 accounts for like-minded people. And what you do is we set up an appointment with you with our compliance people. We open you an account. You can put as little as $10,000 in that account. What we tell people is we just want to prove the model to you. You open an account, you put 10,000, 25,000, whatever you're comfortable with. You give us access to it, we trade it. We have 3 years of audited historical data that shows that our goal is 3% a month, which is an extraordinary return. We have historical data that shows we've averaged about 5.1% in the last 2 years, which outperforms the S&P by about 200%. And so I was retired for a while. About 3 years ago, I was looking for something to do. I could do anything I want, and I chose this. I was fascinated by what's going on in AI, and I was fascinated with what's going on with these new strategies that all the big boys are using. I was on the phone with the guy from JP Morgan a couple days ago, and I asked him, I said, what are you hearing about these type of returns? Because if your stockbroker gets you 8 to 9% a year, you send the guy flowers. And we're talking about 3%, 4% a month compounded. The returns are much better than that. And what he told me was what he's hearing is his bosses have been working with these algorithms for years. They keep it very quiet. The one fund, I think the minimum buying is $25 million if you want to participate in the Gotham fund. And so when we designed this, what I said is I want to make this available to school teachers, to firemen, to union workers, people that are looking, not making any money in their 401ks, or people that are just, tired of getting, really small returns, and they don't qualify for hedge fund type returns. So we put this team together with Rachel and Matt and Tom, and we've developed a product that is available to anybody. And then once we start showing you some good returns, you can always add more money in. You can pull your money out. You can leave it in. It's completely up to you. It's self-directed. Those who do qualify for the 5 million net worth, Tom is handling all of that, and you can join that fund. It's a private fund. You have to be invited into the fund, but we can talk about that at a later time. So I just we want to get this out to everybody. We have 2 different prospectuses. We have one for Boardroom Fund. We have one for Boardroom Capital. We could get that to you electronically. We can also send you a hard package. I'm old school. I like to have it on my desk, and I like to read it and make notes, and then we will get on the phone with you, answer any questions you have, and get you an account open. We're asking show us just a little bit of trust, and we'll earn the rest. So that's my presentation. It's probably less than 10 minutes. I'm fired up. I'm really looking forward to this. And
don't worry, I got a question for you, Richard.
Sure.
We'll get you on the hot mic there. As well as if you have questions for Richard, put them in the chat, because I don't think we're going to have time to go through everybody's questions as well as get Kyle on. But Richard, just for the group, right? We've had people request like, hey, I'm looking for an investment advisor or somebody that can help me. I've got some extra money. And companies like Morgan Stanley come to mind real quick.
Yep.
What separates you from that Morgan Stanley call where they're going to want to call you instead? And I understand that you did talk about returns briefly.
Right. Well, that's a great question. And it's funny because about a week ago, Rachel came to me and she's like, I've got all these stock accounts. I've got stock accounts, I've got mutual funds, I've got stuff in trust funds. And could you consolidate all this for me? And I looked at her returns, and in some of her accounts, she was getting 1.5% a year. And this was, it was Centera, I think it was. She had a broker over there that was just killing her in fees. He's trading in and out, and he's trading in and out, and you don't know what you're doing. You give the guy the money, and you're hoping that he's a good custodian of your funds. But and she wasn't paying attention to it. She just trusted the guy. So I took a look at it, and that's when we got on our phone with the guy from JP Morgan. And we moved everything over there because we felt that we could get much better returns than what she was getting. And that's kind of the norm. If you've got a stockbroker, they make money on the fees. If they're not trading, if they're not trading, they're not making money. So and when I was a stockbroker back in the day, we were trading you in and out of stuff all day long. It was my job to generate fees, and there's no fee. The fees that we take here are out of profits. Okay, if you make money, we make money. If you don't make money, we don't make money. And so we're going to guide you. We're going to help you understand the different strategies. Some of these strategies, one of the strategies did 400% last year. Okay, it was a crypto strategy, but it's down 28%. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to recommend that you go conservative. All right, we're going to put you in strategies, or you're going to put yourself in strategies. We're just going to advise you that are conservative. Okay, the risk versus reward. There's not a lot of risk in these. I mean, we win probably 80% of our trades. These machine learned algorithms. It's all electronic. There's some geopolitical stuff that's involved, so you got to keep your eye on hopefully Fox News to get the truth of what's going on in the world, or at least their version of it. And other than that, this is all machine learning. And we win on about 80% of our trades. Each day, we make a quarter point. We may make a half a point. We're not going to have 20% days, but we're not going to have days where you lose 20%. So it's very conservative. It's not stocks and bonds. It's Forex, and so it's you diversify your portfolio. Like I said, you just open an account with us. We will walk you through it. We will hold your hand. You're going to be hearing from us all the time. You're going to have. We're always available for questions. It's the human touch, the human relationship on something like this, being one of the first people and the friends and family around. We're going to educate you. We're going to care about you, and your success is our success. So the difference between you got some extra money and throwing it at a guy with Morgan Stanley, you're just going to be a client.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
There's some questions in the chat, Richard, that I'd appreciate if you can answer. Tom, you took yourself off mute. Do you want to add to that before I move on?
I just saw the questions in the chat. I think I could probably answer these. The autopilot that mirrors congressional trading, we don't do any of that. I mean, I can understand what the attraction to that is, but I also think a lot of the returns from Congress are a little overblown. Obviously, they beat the market, but they're not getting 150% a year or anything crazy like that. The minimum investment's $10,000 in the hedge fund. The minimum investment's $1 million. But in Boardroom Capital, it's 10,000. We also, these are all, I don't know if you got this from Richard, but these are all 100% computer trading. So there's no personal trading. The computers find the signals, make the trades. There's no human emotion in it. It's completely uncorrelated to the stock market. And we in our presentations, we have reports that show that there's almost no correlation. Some of the biggest days that these strategies have are when the market's down. And also the hedge fund uses two programs that we're opening for $5 million tops in Boardroom Capital, because we're not going to offer those to retail going forward. And those funds, there are two programs that have 50 programs that trade underneath them. So there's 50 different programs running simultaneously that is using AI to distribute funds to each program. So I think the covered calls and commodities, there's not option tradings. It's spot Forex mostly. And there's some gold trading, and there's some, in one of the strategies, there's some gold and silver trading, and some Bitcoin and Ethereum, but none of the other commodities and none of the other kind of coins that, nobody knows anything about.
Yeah, love it. Tom, thanks for weighing in. Appreciate it. Richard, I'm going to get on to another guest and the community, but thank you very much for being here today. Look, guys, these calls are, like I said, about community. What are your needs, your wants, and your give back? These guys have built something phenomenal. It's new. They're excited about it. They've got the resources in the background to do something for us. So here's definitely a need and a want to get involved. So we appreciate both of you and your other partners here on the call. Thank you guys for sharing that. So right on. Okay, I'm going to move over to Kyle and let him talk for a few minutes. So Kyle's been on our calls before. He's been a good friend of mine. Kyle used to play for the NFL, Saints, Chiefs, great history there. If you don't know, Kyle has also been very instrumental in the Cannabis Coalition, which has been the legal use of cannabis for NFL players, especially as it relates to head injuries. So not only did it save his own life, he saved a whole bunch of other lives. So Kyle, I think your want is you're looking at some opportunities out there in Tennessee in terms of growing recreational and medicinal cannabis products. Is that accurate, or do you want to showcase what you're working on?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And it was awesome with Richard and the whole group being on board today. I really appreciate the growth of the group. Been here since day one with you and really appreciate what you're doing. And, this is just a carryover of what it is you and I have been working on with trying to really get this cannabis thing in order over the years. That's how you and I became introduced, an investment in Newport Beach with Razzle, if anybody remembered that platform out there, and carrying over into other things. I own a couple dispensaries in California and been back to Tennessee since the COVID, really trying to establish that business out here. It's been a roller coaster of events because of the uncertainty of the industry and where everything is perceivably headed. As Jim mentioned, I've been a part of a lot of political movements in this and waiting on the call still. It's been a couple months, and these unfortunate incidents like Charlie Kirk continue to push these things off with the progression of this. And we've been waiting to go to the White House here. So in a couple of weeks, you'll see me and a bunch of athletes with President Trump pushing forward the rescheduling of cannabis, and that going to a Schedule III drug, which is going to allow for human testing. That in and of itself is going to blow the doors off of this whole industry, much like the cryptocurrency. And people don't really understand what's going on right now. So just trying to really, navigate that landscape where people are really scared and tentative and hesitant to invest in. So just trying to grab great partners out here. There's a ton of opportunity in Tennessee. It was offered a high traffic retail, going into a shop the other day where I'm at. The building that I had to let go because I couldn't put that deal together. This is a big building, a big project. It had cultivation license on it. It had retail. It had these other things, but the retail wasn't moving enough out here in the area that it was at. Pretty far outside of Nashville, but in the higher traffic zones, these smoke shops and retails are doing a couple to 2-3 million a year in sales, and people really don't understand the true opportunity in this industry to be a full vertical. So trying to put that together. That building that I was at is still for lease. I don't think it's going anywhere. So potential better position of negotiation on that. And then the high traffic retail opportunity. Tennessee is a state that is saying they're going to allow the alcohol board to come in and operate this because all of the bars now and all of the liquor distributors are into the THC seltzer drinks, and they're at every bar, every restaurant, all throughout Tennessee and the South, and anywhere that's allowing this to occur, where the Farm Bill is running the table. That isn't going to change. The only adjustments that they're going to make are caps to edibles and drinks. Everything else, when it's concerning flower, smokables, all these other deals, they're going to run on Farm Bill. And then there's a couple other bills that are going to push this even further to what politicians like Rand Paul says is the unleashing of the full potential of this industry, which to people like me know that we are only at the tip of the iceberg. As soon as people understand and realize that this is the best thing for anxiety, this is the best thing for depression, this is going to, cancel out all these pharmaceuticals, which is what's happened to me and a number of other athletes, as well as, average Joes out here that are trying to trade in these pills for the plants. They're working. And so, the spectrum of opportunity is great. I wish I had all of those, historical things to, add to my pitch with, all these people have with, the hedge funds and this fund and that fund. And, I'm finding opportunities to roll over my, own money into these things in self-direct opportunities. But it's still at the same time, you need the power of a big group behind you in this, because, as we've seen in California now, this thing is going to roll back to the people who have been in this and been trying really hard. We're about to get a 25% increase in California because they're going to roll back a tax they put on us because it's destroying the industry. And California can't afford to lose it. So as I knew, this is the long game. And anybody out there interested in cannabis wants to get involved, hit Jim up, hit me up. And we're ready to bring you on board. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, Kyle, thanks for being here. And look, I've been in and out of that industry, especially as it went legal in California to try to get people on the legal side of it. The reason why I gravitated towards Kyle is because he's done so much good work from the medical side to help other people. And one of the first things Kyle says, I don't use this product to get high and get wasted. He goes, I use this for my medical needs, for all the things that he listed out, right? So I'm passionate about good health, especially if we can get off the pharmaceuticals in a natural way, something that was given to us, in the plant form, from God, right, Kyle? And so, yeah, I do have a pitch deck for him. If you're interested in learning more, Silas is on the call. He's invested. I'm invested. Kyle's invested. This transcends beyond cannabis too. He's got some workout programs with trench warfare and getting people healthy and workout programs and stuff like that. And we're working on a app for the phone. So, all right, we got a couple minutes left. Kyle, go ahead while I'm asking everybody to raise their hands if they need help.
I know you asked me to say this because I sent you this and I forgot to say this.
Yes, do it.
And help the group. I wrote this down the day I was offered this retail I've been looking for, and I thought I was done for, and some guy just offered it to me. And it was that life after life I have encountered today. Look ahead. And I just kept focusing and going forward and moving forward instead of looking behind and thinking behind, and more doors continue to open up. So little thought, life after life I have encountered today. Remind yourself, you've been here before. Look ahead. Quit looking at all the distractions. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Kyle. I used to do a lot of work. Bill Walton, NBA player, his past since, did a lot of work with Bill. And I used to tell people, when you meet Bill, he'll change your life because of where his mental space is. And I feel like Kyle's the same as he relates to a lot of things. He's got some beautiful music out there too. So, all right, in the remaining couple minutes, does anybody have any needs or wants? Raise your hand. We'll call on you. Get it out there. Heidi, go ahead. Take yourself off mute.
Hey team, I'm here in the Flathead Valley for a couple weeks, and I brought my InBody 570. So if any of you are local, I am ready to rock and roll, get you set up for your best health and wellness to absolutely thrive for the rest of 2025. Who has ever had an InBody scan?
I have.
Yes, you have, Jim.
Yep.
Tell me about your experience, Jim.
It was awesome. So at 57, we did the InBody scan. You showed me right where I sat within my age group, right? I think you said I was a 1%er. So
you're a 1%er.
But that beyond, I understood exactly what I needed to do to maintain that and grow that. So thank you for that. She put a link in there, and I don't mean to cut you off, Heidi. There's a couple other people I need to call on. She does a beautiful job of this. By the way, if you look at our map on school, these people on these calls are from across the country, not just Montana. Red Suit, are you still on, or did you bounce? All right, I think he bounced off before I got to him. So Red Suit Realtor does fix and flips down in the Flathead, down in Salt Lake City. So great program down there if you haven't been a part of that. Sheila Siegel, you got any updates for us in your world? What are interest rates doing? Sorry to put you on the spot, but I'd like to know.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
So interest rates. So we are seeing them come down in anticipation of this Fed meeting. We've got about 0.1% a week. Probably the last 3 weeks. We're at a 10-month low. We have the Fed meeting going on. It's actually going to happen today and tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Something I think good to know is the Fed manages short-term interest rates, and that would be like your credit cards or an equity line of credit, and real estate rates are long-term interest rates, so they're not directly impacted by the Fed decision. The market kind of prices in rate drops, and then what the Fed does based on, so we've anticipated a 0.25% drop, for example. So if they dropped 0.5%, we might see more of a drop in rates, but sometimes the market actually goes up. It's hard to know today actually what's going to happen. I'm kind of watching today where we have a 3 basis point improvement, which is pretty much flat. So I'm watching and waiting to see what's going to happen with this meeting and see how it actually impacts rates. So we'll see.
All right. Can you show up next week and give us an update? Because everybody's watching, especially the people in this group that are investing and or buying and selling real estate. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Johnny Johnson, can you unmute? I know you're working on a project you're trying to get some momentum behind. Of course, I'm calling everybody out on the spot. There you go.
I'm good, Jim. Thanks, though. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for being here. Johnny's a veteran. Okay. Anybody else before we wrap this thing up? Because I'm going to close it up, give people there a couple minutes back. Again, this is about needs, wants, give backs. Okay. Show up. These calls are free. If there's people that you think want to be on here, please invite them. This is open to everybody. If you want more than that, you can jump on the school. Richard, you unmuted. You got something else?
You know, I actually was going to just request to get Kyle's contact information. Can you hear me?
Yep. I got it.
I know a lot about the business he's in. And I believe he trained a friend of mine's son to play quarterback at Oklahoma State.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd like to hook up with Kyle and see if there's anything I can do to help him.
I love it. Thank you. I'll connect you guys on direct message. That's exactly how this call is supposed to work. So thanks, Richard. Thanks, Kyle. All right, everybody, have a great day. See everybody next week. Looking for more guests, and be here. Invite somebody. Thank you.
Guys, have a blessed day.
Thanks, Richard.
All right.